Dear you, I'm writing to you from a version of yourself who remembers the quiet, unsettling feeling of watching your life move forward while you felt strangely disconnected from it. Like everything was happening around you, but not with you. It was as if you were standing behind an invisible glass wall, watching days blur into each other, without fully being present inside any of them. You were functioning, doing what needed to be done, fulfilling responsibilities, showing up where you were expected to. But inside, you couldn't shake the sense that you were drifting rather than living. I remember how you tried to explain it to yourself. You thought maybe you were just busy, overwhelmed, stressed. You thought maybe everyone felt this way sometimes. And while that was partly true, what made your experience heavier was how long the feeling stayed, how it lingered silently, even on days that should have felt meaningful. You found yourself going through familiar motions with an unfamiliar heart. There were mornings when you woke up and felt like you were stepping into someone else's life, following someone else's routines. You felt disconnected from your own joy, disconnected from your own voice, disconnected from the sense of purpose you once carried so naturally. You weren't lost. You simply couldn't feel your footsteps. It wasn't dramatic. Nothing fell apart. Nothing crashed. And because of that, no one realized how much inner dissonance you were carrying. People saw your consistency, your reliability, your calm. They didn't see the way your emotional presence kept slipping further away from the moments that were supposed to ground you. You didn't feel broken. You didn't feel shattered. You just felt absent. Like you were participating in your life without truly inhabiting it. And that quiet absence frightened you more than any breakdown could have. Because how do you fix something that doesn't hurt loudly? How do you find your way back to yourself when you can't pinpoint where you drifted? You held that fear gently. You didn't tell anyone. You didn't want to alarm them. You didn't want to seem ungrateful or dramatic. And so you carried the quiet pain alone. The pain of feeling like your life was happening in front of you while you stood still in the background, longing to step back into yourself. I saw how much that weighed on you. I saw how hard you tried to reconnect. And I want you to know, your distance from your own life wasn't a failure. It was a signal, your soul, asking for something you hadn't yet learned how to give it. Your past self understands now that the feeling of life moving without you is not a sign that you've fallen behind. It's a sign that you've been living in survival mode for too long. When you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, emotionally drained, or stretched beyond your internal capacity, your mind doesn't crash, it detaches. It steps back. It tries to protect you by reducing emotional intensity. And while it shields you from pain, it also temporarily dulls your connection to joy, presence, and meaning. You didn't disconnect because you didn't care. You disconnected because you cared more than your heart could handle at once. You disconnected because your spirit was tired of running without resting. You disconnected because you had been carrying too much without anyone noticing. You spent months, maybe years, being the steady one, the responsible one, the one who holds everything together, even when you're falling apart internally. And when you don't have space to feel, space to breathe, space to rest, your inner world begins to quiet itself. It's self-preservation disguised as numbness. Your past self sees clearly now that you weren't absent from your life because you didn't want to engage. You were absent because you were overwhelmed by the invisible emotional load you carried daily. You were trying to meet expectations, your own and others, through sheer effort rather than through connection. And effort without emotional alignment eventually drains the sense of meaning from even the things you once loved. You mistook exhaustion for failure. You mistook disconnection for emptiness. You mistook emotional fatigue for personal weakness. But none of these things were accurate. You were exhausted because you gave too much. You felt empty because you had no space left inside to hold yourself. You disconnected because your soul was whispering, "Slow down. You're losing touch with me." You used to think your life was moving without you, but the truth is, your life was waiting for you to return to it with a heart that wasn't drowning, with a mind that wasn't overloaded, with a soul that wasn't neglected. Your past self wants you to know this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply someone who needs time to reconnect with your heart, your purpose, your peace, your breath. And that reconnection begins in the smallest, quietest ways. Now, I'm speaking to the you who is here, reading this, the you who still fears slipping into the background of your own life again, the you who still longs to feel fully present, fully grounded, fully alive. I want you to breathe slowly and let this truth settle. You can return to your life. You can return to presence, even if you've been gone for a long time. Your life isn't moving without you. It's waiting for you. Patiently, tenderly, quietly. It hasn't given up on you. It hasn't passed you by. It hasn't closed its doors. It is here, unfolding one moment at a time, ready for you to step back into it whenever you feel safe enough. You don't need a grand awakening. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need instant clarity. All you need is one small moment of connection, a breath you actually feel, a memory that warms your chest, a conversation that softens your shoulders, a moment of stillness where you hear yourself whisper, "I'm here." Presence returns slowly. Selfhood returns gradually. Your inner world restores itself gently, like light returning to a dim room. Your job is not to force your way back into your life. Your job is to make small openings for yourself, again and again, until you feel at home inside your own skin. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to rebuild your connection in pieces. You are allowed to choose presence, even if it feels unfamiliar. And one day, quietly, without fanfare, you will notice that you feel alive again. You will notice that your laughter feels like yours. Your choices feel inspired. Your days feel intentional. Your heart feels engaged. And you will realize that you didn't catch up. You returned. Your past self is proud of you for surviving the distance, for longing to reconnect, for choosing healing, even when it felt slow and uncertain. And your future self is waiting ready to welcome you into a life that feels real again. Take one more slow, grounding breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the weight of your existence returning to your body. Feel this truth growing inside you. You are not drifting. You are arriving sincerely.